here. And one thing I'd want to do is let's make our screen just a little bit bigger. So let's say I have an object, and actually we'll just make a triangle right now. So I have an object, and let's say I want to translate it. So I'm going to select it. So I'm using my selection tool. I select the object, and I want to go down to construct. And I can do a couple things. We're going to focus on translation right now. So if I hit that button up here at the top of the screen, I can do it two ways. I can either select a vector, so a vector that I might already have in the screen, or I can actually enter points, which is really nice if you're going to have coordinate grids. So let's put in 4 and then, I don't know, 6. So if I put in actual coordinates, and I'm going to go down here and then I'm going to hit enter, it will move that, the positive 4 and 6, and let's actually kind of zoom them down a little bit. All right, so how do I know that's what happened? If I just kind of measure a point here, let's go down and measure. So let's select a point. There we go, and go to measure, and let's measure its coordinates. So here's our original point. Let's kind of get that where we can see it, and then let's see what our coordinates of our new one, and it was add 4 and 6. So if you actually were to look at that, you would see that that's what happened. We added 4 to the original, so now we're here at negative 12, and we added 6 to the y coordinate, and now we're at negative 3. And if you want, you can add in your coordinate grid up here and actually see that happening with the numbers and the grid here, if that helps. So that's one way to translate. We could also, and let's just start a new paper here just so that we can stay nice and clean. We could also have a vector somewhere in our screen. So let's draw another shape. Let's make this a little more exciting than a triangle. So there's another shape, and now I want to translate according to a vector. So I need to have a vector in there, and it could be a vector that I'm connecting a point to another point. I'm just going to kind of draw a vector. So notice the vector has direction, and it also has length. I could measure those ahead of time if I wanted to, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So let's actually measure, just so you can see, let's measure the distance of the vector. And again, I kind of like to get these off so I can see them. And let's also measure the direction of the vector. What's the degree direction? So you'll notice, and this, I love this. Let me try to move that off so you can see. It kind of shows you, so if you're thinking about angle of elevation, angles of depression, this is fabulous. But that's sort of what's showing here. It's showing the degree of the measure. So now if I select this object and I want to construct a translation, notice I still have up here at the top, I can either select a vector or enter points. Well, since we have a vector, let's select it. And now this object has moved according to this vector. It has moved 16. So if I were to measure the distance between C and C prime, I'd get this 16.87. And if I were to measure the angle of elevation or the angle of movement, I would get this angle, right? So those are two different ways to show translations on the geometry. So check it out, have fun playing, and be sure to follow us on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, and start creating and send us some of your creations. We'd love to see them.